This is for Algebra 1. This is Multiplying Polynomials, Day 1. Just kind of an overview of what we're going to be doing is a polynomial is one or more terms. Multiplying, remember our rules are you multiply coefficients and you add exponents. When you are multiplying, it is called the distributive property, and I'm going to be telling you to distribute things. When you are distributing, you're going to take the number that is in front of the parentheses and distribute or multiply it times everything inside the parentheses. So A times B plus C becomes AB plus AC. A times B minus C becomes AB minus AC. Sometimes they write it backwards to trick you, and that would be something like x minus 2 times 4. And they put the number at the back. It's still just going to be distributed or multiplied by each thing inside the parentheses. So for example, if you have 2 times x plus y, you're going to take 2 times x, and then you're going to take 2 times y, and you get 2x plus 2y. If you have a minus 3 times 4, this is one where they did it backwards. You're going to take 4 times a minus 4 times 3. So you've got 4 times a minus 4 times 3, which gives you 4a minus 12. If they have 3 terms in the parentheses, it still works the same way. You take your negative 4 times 3a, negative 4 times 6b, and negative 4 times negative 5. You do need to be careful with your signs here, okay? I don't care if you show this step right here. I have it up here right now just to make sure you understand what I'm doing. Negative 4 times 3a, negative 4 times 6b, and negative 4 times negative 5. So you get negative 12a minus 24b plus 20. If there is a sign, a negative sign in front without a number, remember that's like a negative 1. And you're going to take a negative 1 times everything in parentheses, which technically means you're just changing the signs. Because you're going to do negative 1 times 3x plus negative 1 times 6y, and you get negative 3x minus 6y. So basically, if there's a negative in front of the parentheses, you're just changing the signs of what was there. So looking at your notes, you need to fill this in. It will be turned in as part of your grade. What are you going to do to get rid of parentheses? Well, you're going to distribute. When you distribute to get rid of parentheses, you are going to multiply the coefficients and you're going to add the exponents. So looking at number 1, you're going to take this 3 that's in front and you're going to multiply it times everything in there. 3 times x is 3x plus 3 times 4 is 12. Since 3 times 4 is a positive 12, you've got to put that plus there. You have to have a plus or a minus separating each of your terms. You cannot write 3x 12. That is not correct. You got to have the plus. So for number 2, you're going to distribute the 5. 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 3 is a negative 15, so you say minus 15. 3x is going to get distributed. Now we have to deal with exponents. 3x times x. Remember when you're multiplying, you multiply the coefficient, which is your big number, and you add the exponent. If there is not an exponent written, remember it's a 1. So 3x times x becomes 3x squared. 3x times 1 becomes plus 3x. And that's your answer. You're done. So 5x gets distributed. 5x times 2x. 5 times 2 is 10, and it becomes x squared. 5x times a negative 3 is minus 15x. Don't lose that x. You got to bring it along, even if it doesn't have one to multiply against. 3x squared times 2x, and then 3x squared times negative 5. 3 times 2 is 6. X squared times x becomes x to the third, because you add your exponents. 3 times negative 5 is minus 15. X squared, there's not one, so you just bring it along. 4x to the third times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. Becomes x to the fourth because 3 plus 1 is 4. 4x to the third times 1. 4 times 1 is positive 4, so plus 4. And you just bring the x to the third with you. Number 7 looks a little scary. It works the same way. It's just that you've got lots of letters to deal with, and you take it one letter at a time. Deal with your coefficient first. 5 times 3 is 15. X squared times x to the third becomes x to the fifth. 2 plus 3. Y to the third times y becomes y to the fourth. 3 plus 1. 5 times a negative 2 is minus 10. X to the 2 plus 3 is 5. Y to the 3 plus 4 is 7. Multiply your big numbers, add your exponents. Same thing here. If there's not a number, remember that's like it's a 1. So you're going to distribute that times everything in parentheses. 1 times 3 is 3. X to the third times x becomes x to the fourth. Y squared times y becomes y to the third. 1 times negative 4 is minus 4. X to the third times x becomes x to the fourth. Y squared doesn't have anything to go with it, so you just bring it along. So you're going to multiply your big numbers, and you're going to add your exponents. So these probably aren't on your notes, so turn your notes over to the back. We're going to work just a few of them. Negative 6 times a plus 8. You're going to distribute your 6. Negative 6a. Negative 6 times 8 is minus 48. Got to watch your signs there. Number 4, the 2 is at the end. You're going to distribute it back inside anyway. 2 times 9m is 18m. 2 times 10 is 20, so plus 20. It's going to distribute a negative 6. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times 4 is minus 24. Five times 3m is 15m. 5 times negative 6 is minus 30. Number 10, we're going to distribute this negative 4 kind of backwards. Negative 4 times negative 26p is a positive 24p. Negative 4 times 7 is minus 28. We're going to take a negative 3, take it to the x minus 5. Negative 3 times x is minus 3x. Negative 3 times negative 5 is plus 15. Number 18, we're going to distribute a negative 8. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 5 is a positive 40, so plus 40, and don't forget your x. Negative 5 gets distributed on this one. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35a. Negative 5 times a negative 6 is a positive 30, so I say plus 30. Remember, you must always put a plus or a minus between your terms. Sometimes you're going to distribute and then have to combine like terms afterwards. We're going to take 5 times 2a minus b. 5 times 2a takes you to this line here. 10a minus 5b. Then you also distribute the 3 because it's touching parentheses, so they get plus 3a plus 3b. Then you go through and you combine your like terms. 10a plus 3a is 13a. Negative 5b plus 3b is negative 2b. And this is your final answer. So on one like this one, we're going to start by distributing the negative 10, and it gives us negative 10 plus 90x. Then you distribute your 6 and you get plus 6x minus 60, but you're not through. Negative 10 and negative 60 gives you negative 70, and then 90x plus 6x is plus 96x. This is your answer. It takes the second step. Okay, so looking down here, negative 7 times n plus 3, negative 7n minus 21. Negative 8 times 1 plus 8n minus 8 minus 64n. Combine your like terms. A negative 7 minus 64 is going to be a negative 71n. Negative 21 minus 8 is going to be minus 29, and that is your answer. Okay, you need to be prepared for that. When you have two things going on, you distribute for each one, and then you combine like terms. This will take you to your assignment. You need to get the assignment from me. You're going to have to show that you finished your notes before I give you the assignment. As you're working on the assignment, feel free to stop me or call me over and ask for help.